just absolutely slicing through enemies with a battle axe. And the post screamed at me in all caps, "This game is for you."
What?
Wait, what?
What? Apparently there's hot Snow White. Hey yo, why is this the photo? Why is this a photo, chat? Why did he pause here? Yo, I think Atheris has a thing for booty. I'm not gonna lie. Every time, chat. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, if you send videos that weren't just booty all the time, I mean...
Oh, it's my fault now.
Jeez, your video.
Nope, every time, him and Dom, it's always... That's always a
nice, Lamb. Thank you again.
Nope, that's always these views. Booty, rocket number. Are you... Nah, Sukihara, you violating.
What just happened now?
No, he finally W stream. Prove it with your money. Put your money where your mouth is. Thinking you already did something with your mouth. Dang.
Dang, JJ, you calling people out?
You are the target audience. I said, me? They were right, of course, but in the moment, I almost missed the real fairy tale, a studio in the Grand 2-6 using the phrase target audience. When prompted, very sincerely, and I thought that phrase had perished, a relic of a forgotten
age. Is that Snow White?
Passed down only in legends by elder gamers around a campfire. But no,
this must be
gave me a lot of hope. Unfortunately, though, this is not that kind of story, because not long after that, High Guard news graced my screen, and I learned that almost the entire team had been let go, and one of the devs had an answer for why. To absolutely no one's surprise, he said it was the gamer's fault. So, one studio looks at players and said, "We made this for you." The other says, "You did this to us." And that tension, who you are making games for, whether or not you actually respect them, and whether you're willing to own it when things go wrong, is pretty much everything that we are covering as we look at some of the most recent gaming news of the past 2 weeks. Okay, in case you are not chronically online like me, which, good for you, I am trying to be better about it, let me catch you up really quickly. Free games launched last week. Mugenics, a cat tactics game that has already sold 1 million copies. Reloaded, which had journalists buzzing, peaked at a whopping 57 players. And Killerin, a new live service Square Enix game that seemingly no one had ever heard of, peaked at just under 900 players. Square Enix, if you are somehow watching this, your secret is safe with me. 1,200 Ubisoft employees recently went on a 3-day strike. Massive layoffs, continued internal chaos, but don't worry, guys. They have reassured us yet again that Assassin's Creed Shadows is still performing.
Oh, dang, it's Delulu. Oh, wait, it's Delulu Sukihara. Guess what? You gotta donate. You gotta donate.
Wow. What appreciation for Delulu.
She hasn't
it's Delulu.
She hasn't even been around. She hasn't even finished talking about or giving me input on my story because she's like, I got the last few pages, and she hasn't even, like, giving me the feedback. So, like, you know what? Oh, dang. Oh yeah. Anywho, I have 13. She said she had 10 pages the other day. So, apparently she just reverted 3 pages back. So, you know what? Maybe.
I mean, you just rewrote the whole ending, didn't you?
No, I didn't. No, I was doing the plot summary. There's difference. I was having fun too much wear. That's crazy. Wear and tear. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, so I was just stopping by. She gonna me. It's because you haven't been giving me money. That's why, you wiener eater. Dang. Anyway.
I know, right?
Dang. Anyway, what I was trying to say, Delulu. How about you give me the money for that, huh?
Yeah, you're right. That is what you should be saying.
No, I should be saying, give me the money for even saying that. It's thinking, oh, Sukihara's just like donate. I don't see that donation coming through. Anywho, what is one of your least favorite gaming companies?
Mine?
Yes.
I don't know, actually.
I can tell you mine.
I mean, mine would probably end up being EA if you're talking about video games, and gaming in general, Hasbro.
You want to know what mine is?
Probably Ubisoft.
No, it's Blizzard.
Blizzard?
Blizzard.
So basic.
You know, why you say it's basic?
I mean, everybody hates Blizzard.
No, I don't think you understand why I hate Blizzard, though. Go bye-bye, dang, see? Basic deleted.
Okay. Why?
Okay. You think it might be because Blizzard Overwatch Nah. You think the incident with pirate software is like a one-time incident. But like, you know, I know quite a few people from Blizzard and like no, the ego people get from working at Blizzard is not a one-time occurrence. A lot of people who work at Blizzard tend to get an ego for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's like the Blizzard effect. It's like okay, you
The
work
Blizzard effect? You mean all of the Diablo stroking and WoW stroking and Hearthstone stroking?
I don't know. I did not work at Blizzard, but it's just like people who work at Blizzard, a lot of people be like, dang, yeah. I know someone who work at Blizzard and let me tell you, it's like, yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. They're pretty much the Nintendo of game developers.
Okay, Tsukihara, just for that $3,000, because go choke on them. So that's what I'm saying.
Blizzard could publish Taco Bell toilet explosion and hit 20 million sales in 2 hours. Because their fanboys are like the worst.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's like when people were like,
but like that's why Nintendo thinks they can sue anyone.
It's so funny with Nintendo because people are like, well, which one's better, a 36 pack of Dr. Pepper or rebuying this 20-year-old game again? And people are like, see, when people talk about emulation, it's not for preservation. It's to buy this game for free. It's just like, because people already bought this game. It's just like people already have this game. So it's just like, bro, people who be glazing Nintendo so much.
People already have 12 copies of this game.
Yo. So it's just like, they're like, yeah, so.
Probably 30 copies if they're over 25.
I was just like, I think people who grew up with Fire Red have bought Pokemon Fire Red multiple times. I don't think it's because that. And then people are like, so like I'm gonna buy it again. It's like, okay, good for you. Like no one really. It's just like I don't think I need another one, but if you want to go ahead and get it, they're like, that's what it is. So it's just like, yep, Blizzard and Nintendo. It's like, oh my golly goodness, the glazing be crazy. So.
And the company that I'm most irritated with is the one that I knew 2 employees of. Esper, Charm, and what was her name? I can't think of her name right now. Pixel. 2 of the frag girls for Ubisoft. And like they made them go through all of this time being cadets and everything, only to disband like 1 year after getting people to move cross country and all. It's like, bruh. They didn't even have like jobs lined up for them because they were just like a gamer girl club trying to push them. Like an esports group, but just for Ubisoft games. And then they're just like, oh, not profitable enough. Bye. Like, bruh, you got people relocating across country. Crazy. But like, that one is one that irritates me because they knew they were ready to disband them with one bad quarter. Why would you upgrade people?
Better than expected. 1348 X Voto released their demo, and the lead voice actress describes the experience as something everyone would love. Overwatch had a whole situation involving a new character's face, a voice actress, and the phrase Ozempic chic. We'll be getting to that later. Ashes of Creation, potentially 140.
Please tell me I did not hear Ozempic chic. Okay.
Million in
all right,
and a founder whose professional background is multi-level marketing. So yeah, that tracks, honestly. And somehow, like I said at the start of the video, Highguard has gotten worse, much worse. So let's start there. Highguard, man, we knew things were bad a couple of weeks ago, but it has kept getting worse. 16 days after launch, most of the team was laid off. The studio said that they are keeping a core group to support the game, but now the website has kind of gone down, so support group is probably more accurate at this point. And then came the now deleted response from one of the laid off devs, and I genuinely wanted to hear it. What was the cause of all of this? What happened? Why no early access? Was it the generic art style and forgettable characters? The overhype from the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley? Maybe some honest reflection? Nope. He posted a full thread essentially blaming gamers. He said consumers put absurd amounts of effort into slandering Highguard, and it worked. He also said innovation is on life support, which is a lot of words for it wasn't us. And remember, this is coming from a free-to-play hero shooter. He also included feedback from other industry people praising the game as proof that it was actually good, which is basically the equivalent of bombing your final exam in school and then showing your professor screenshots of your group chat saying, "You're gonna crush it, bro," as evidence that you deserved an A. And when
they sound like they'd be great people to pick up for the next Mario Kart game. Maybe Pokemon if Game Freak breaks off.
you stop to think about it, it is kind of crazy. Almost 100,000 people showed up and gave this game a shot, which is a massive deal that some indie devs could only dream of. But then losing 95% of them so quickly and telling me that you have no idea how that happened, I am sorry. Somebody in that building had to know. You are telling me nobody sent an anonymous email to leadership titled "Just a Thought" with a link to Concord's peak player count, because they either weren't allowed to say it or they had already seen what happens to people who do. Now, the dev also described the laid-off team as passionate indie devs who were being forced back into corporate, which sounds really devastating until you find out that the undisclosed lead financial backer for this whole passionate indie project was Tencent. Yes, that Tencent. And here is where it gets even more interesting, because Tencent's senior vice president also sits on the advisory board of the Game Awards, the same Game Awards that gave Highguard the coveted final slot of the night for free, mind you, while reportedly charging other studios up to $1 million for their spots. The same Jeff Keighley who was hyping this game up for days before launch like it was going to change everything. Now, I am not trying to jump to conclusions here. I am just saying that's a lot of coincidences sitting around in the same room together. A free-to-play live service hero shooter chasing a trend that has already buried how many studios at this point, and it gets the most coveted spotlight in gaming. And where exactly was the passionate indie vision? The battle pass? I don't know. But what really gets me is that before launch, studio head Chad Greener told Polygon, whether it gets 1,000 people or 100 million people, it doesn't matter. And then, unfortunately, 16 days after launch, most of the team was laid off.
Dang.
It looks like it kind of mattered, Chad.
All I can think of is she said it's in the battle pass. Kind of makes me think of the way I don't like EA Sports anymore. Like, EA used to be EA Sports. It's in the game. Now it's more like EA Sports. It's in the battle pass.
Yep. You know what's crazy?
Daily updates coming soon.
Yeah, I just realized I'm the dog. Yeah.
What?
That was a dog or cat, whatever that is. I just realized I was that.
I just call it Nina and let it go at that.
Yeah, okay. What I just realized was that EA Sports. Yeah, no. Cause Dom watches Skate or played Skate. He was like, "Yo, Skate 3 was pretty good. Skate or Skate 4. It's just a cash grab. Like literally everything is Battle Pass, Battle Pass, Battle Pass, Battle Pass."
Yep, that's EA.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the short video of the guy who dated the EA
Okay, fair enough.
worker.
Yeah, pretty one. The EA one?
Like
I did
the
not.
bathroom in her apartment and all of her other outfits are in the Battle Pass.
That's crazy.
It's pretty funny, actually.
But the dev that posted that initial thread blaming gamers just lost his job. He lived through this echo chamber of toxic positivity, the poor leadership, the nobody in the building able to speak up culture that we talked about in my last video. He is the person that all of these bad decisions rolled downhill onto, and after all of that, his takeaway was still the gamers. He went through this whole thing and somehow came out on the other side seemingly having learned nothing, and that is unfortunately extremely Concord of him. But if we look at Overwatch and what they have been up to, you might be able to see a glimmer of hope for the future. Until they completely squashed it by bending the knee to the latest public outrage. Think Jon Snow and Daenerys if Daenerys were the undying Twitter mob that simply cannot let us have attractive female characters. Real quick before that, a quick break for today's sponsor. My personal finances used to stress me out a lot. I was never a math girl, and that feeling of, I don't want to know, but I kind of need to know, that was me. I was super disorganized. I would try keeping a written budget, but then just not look at it. But having something that just tracks everything for you automatically makes a huge difference, and that is basically what Rocket Money does. The app links to your bank accounts, credit cards, everything, so you can see exactly where your money is going without doing all of that work yourself. It just makes it so much easier to track your goals, see what you owe, plan for savings, all in one singular place without having to log into 5 different things. And it finds subscriptions you forgot about and lets you cancel them thanks to Rocket Money for links in the description.
I guess I'm trying to let her make money
and unlock more features with premium. So speaking of accountability, or lack of it, Blizzard actually did something shocking recently. They took it. They admitted Overwatch 2 wasn't working how they intended, did a full rebrand, a massive content push, and it worked. Numbers went up, people were genuinely excited, myself included. I almost re-downloaded the game, but then I came to my senses just in time. Part of all of this, though, was introducing a new hero for this season, Onrun. She looks great in the cinematic, looks good in game, but people noticed that she didn't quite match the original version that Blizzard had showed off. That's fair enough. The, hey, can we get her a little closer to her original design request started popping up, and I didn't really think too much of it at the time, but then Onron's voice actress posted a video calling this a hill worth dying on, and she used the phrase Ozempic chic. That is when it became pretty clear what was actually happening, because what started as a reasonable, hey, can we get her a little closer to the original from actual players, got hijacked almost immediately by a completely different crowd with a completely different opinion. One that wasn't about accuracy at all, but about making her less attractive. And the voice actress essentially confirmed it herself when someone in her comments told her to push the agenda with the character, and she replied, I shall. And then I started seeing other complaints pop up. The face is wrong, the message is wrong, the outfit's too tight, she needs to be covered up more. And then suddenly, the people who just wanted closer to the original design are now sharing a hashtag with people who never wanted her to look good in the first place. I do just want to pause on the original design point for a second, because that is so funny to me. These are the same types of people who told us we were being weird when we noticed Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2, who said, why do you care? It's just a game, relax. When people pointed out Aloy in the Second Horizon, who told us to stop objectifying women every time someone mentioned the female character changes in the Capcom remakes. But the point is, we were the problem for noticing. And then at the same time, Leon Kennedy gets the full glow-up treatment. Female devs at Capcom are loving.
What do you think about that?
Women every time someone mentions.
So I think it really all depends, because I know some girls like the ethereal look, right? Like they want.
Right.
So, because I did ask, I was like, "How do you feel about this?" And they're like, "Well, I want to disconnect from reality at times, right?" Uh, you know what, Sukihara? You know what else would catch my attention? You stinking donate, you wouldn't either. Stinking fighting with me and stinking. You know, he picked stinking, what was it called? Steam messages to fight with me. I'm like, are you for real? Yes, I'm outing
Hey,
you.
I mean, Sukihara, Leon stops my girlfriend right on a dime. I mean, I can't say no.
So, I was thinking this man's been like fighting with me on stinking Steam messages out of all places. I'm like, what is wrong with him? Anywho, but anywho, um, anywho, so like, I think it really all depends because I do ask these questions sometimes. I was just like, um, what do you mean, Leon? That's I would never even brought this up. This was a theorist. He's like my girl thinking wants all that Leon booty. What does got to do with me?
Well, I mean, you stopped on him. I just went back to Ada because, you know, I want to make a point.
Because I was talking about the girls,
you know.
but you take a while to stop. So I didn't say I want Leon. I never said that. I don't know why you guys said I wanted Leon. Anywho, dang. I was talking about the girls anywho. I was just like, because the point is, I was thinking, shut up. Anywho, the point is with you know, part of the genre. I think we talked about it, it's like the villainous genre is like with girls, right? They like to exact revenge, while with guys, it's like about brotherhood, X, Y, and Z. And like part of the villainous genre is that like the innocent type is actually like the sinister evil type. So like it's like she could look angelic, holy, Erd, and Tao, but she's actually super evil inside. While the villainess can look like super menacing, but she's such a sweetheart, X, Y, and Z. Um, but they're both.
Yeah, I know the evil witch was such a sweetheart giving that apple to Snow White.
But like, well, I'm like referring to mom was and all that, not like it like the Disney classics and XYZ, but like in like most of those stories, it's like they're both conventionally attractive. One is either super cute, the other one is like super like gorgeous or seductive, X, Y, and Z. So like, and if when they're ugly, it's like, oh, it's like a beauty mark or something like that. It's nothing like super unconventional per se. Like it's nothing that would be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna be like repulsed by reading it or something like that. So it's like one of those things that have you kind of double taking. I guess like because have you ever seen True Beauty or read it?
I've seen Reddit, but I don't think I've hit True Beauty before.
Like you've seen True Beauty though.
No.
You haven't seen it. Like you haven't seen like
Is
what
it
it looks
like a
like.
TV show?
It is. It's a TV show. It's an anime. It's a manga. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, it's like the unconventional features is like pimples and glasses. Those are like the unconventional features, right? It's just like it's just
Yeah,
like
well, it's a Korean
yeah,
show.
yeah. I
That's
understand.
kind of normal.
It is. No, I get that, but it's just like stuff
Yeah,
that is
like in the
pretty.
US, it's going to be someone weighing like 300 pounds, like in Shallow How.
Yeah, I know, but that's like pretty fixable, right? Like it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like you can do that. Like it's something that you could do like in a flick of wrist, essentially. Like yeah, that might be like Korean standards, but it's like okay, you can put contacts, you can put makeup, whole new person essentially. That's basically the concept in the manga. It's literally just like bam, whole new person, right? And it's just like she has to overcome that obviously, because it's like, oh wait, I'm still me at the end of the day. But it's just like, if she had also paired up that she's overweight, like you said in the US, and oh, she also had this disfigurement and all that, it's just like that's too many flaws in the character that would make people or the readers like be like, oh yeah, I can't really root for this character because I've actually brought that debate up to quite a few people. They're like, yeah, that's kind of too much. Like they actually said,
you're talking about once it breaks through the wall of what's fantasy and becomes too real.
Yes, that's kind of the point. I think that's like the argument she's bringing up. It's like it becomes too much. Like when she's showing the is Horizon Zero or like the Spider-Man, it becomes too much. Where it's like it's breaking the immersion. And it's like so like when they're talking about the Overwatch or X, Y, and Z, it's like it's breaking the immersion. So it's just like I know some people want that, well, some people don't.
Sorry.
So it's like with the guy characters, I think it's might be a bit, even though some people still want to simp on the guy characters, but it's like it's not treated as such in that concept because like even guys themselves be like, yeah, I be dressing up as the girls because I want to look at a hot chick. So like
I mean,
so
have you played Marvel Rivals?
I know, like you even talked about Venom. So, but
have you seen how caked up the men are?
I know, but I'm saying like, for example, what's that one thing called?
And they kind of did that with Joel in Last of Us, didn't they?
They did,
and I that's guess what they were saying they did to Leon, and that was actually my counterpoint.
Yeah, like they will do that for the men, and then you have another counterpoint. It's like take a look at Abby, where it's just like you have someone like Joel, but then you have someone like Abby, and you're like, it's just like why you have Joel and then you have Abby. It's just like, and then my friend would be like, well, Abby's like a more realistic woman, and someone would be like, but I want to see someone more like Eve from Stellar Blade. It's just like,
yeah.
So like,
because it's a game, it's a fantasy.
Yeah. So like, what do you think of that? You think it's like, should they take more within that realistic mindset, or should they take more of the fantasy mindset?
That depends on the environment that the director wants to make for their game.
So like with The Last of Us, you think that should have like stayed like with Abby, like that makes sense because it's more of a realistic mindset, like a realistic environment.
Honestly, I never played The Last of Us, so I didn't have any attachment to the original character.
Yeah,
the new version of her did not bother me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really attach to me either, but I just know people get riled up. But like, I guess another one is the Horizon. Like,
here's one that people got irritated with.
Well, what you think? Because you play Resident Evil, you think there's a problem? Because to me, it's like
honestly, I like what they did with Ada.
I don't see a problem.
But like, that's one of the things that, to me, actually brought it a little bit more to culture. Because Ada, if I'm not mistaken, is Chinese heritage. And Chinese women have this heritage of having these very attractive yet covering clothes. Like, they can be super attractive and have like 20 yards of material hanging from them. And that's just cultural. So with her being half dressed here, it was a little bit like they're pushing it to me. So I think they actually improved the character here. And she got to glow up to match Leon's.
Okay, so what about the one with the Zero Horizon, even without looking or knowing about the game, just looking at the character from perspective, like, because it looks like a fantasy game?
So, honestly, what it looks like they did was, I can't tell if they were trying to age her forward or backward, but it looks like she went from this point to puberty. She's got the acne, she's got the freckles, a little bit bloated. So if they were aging her forward and she was like 12 here, that makes sense. If she was like 16 or 18 here, and then ends up at that started to get to be like, was a Nickelodeon director involved? We need to call SpongeBob on this?
I see.
Like, there's more to it than just, like, well, they look better in a previous game.
Yeah. Like,
sometimes there is a story being told.
Yeah.
And people don't give them a chance to tell it.
Yeah. Like, I know with Laura Croft, I know people were yapping about she looks worse than anyone. I was like, I think she looks fine. I'm like, she looks...
Oh my goodness. Laura Croft is the perfect one, because initially in the remake, she couldn't do that handstand flip. And everyone was upset that, you know, she wasn't doing that backflip where she shows her panties. Basically. That was the whole complaint. She looked worse. Like, no polygons. Yeah, no. Like, sometimes it's stupid complaints.
Yeah. Alright.
And they did reinstitute that in the new Laura Croft.
To stop objectifying women every time someone mentioned the female character changes in the Capcom remakes. But the point is, we were the problem for noticing. And then at the same time, Leon Kennedy gets the full glow-up treatment. Female devs at Capcom are lovingly worshipping his neck wrinkles, and he is actually getting full-on thirst trap videos from official Capcom accounts. And the response has been universally positive, which is good. But the rule is apparently original designs matter unless the original was too pretty. Blizzard, you just got back on track by actually listening to your player base. Do not immediately reverse that by surrendering to the mob. Now, if Overwatch was accountability getting hijacked mid-comeback, Ashes of Creation is what happens when all of this is completely thrown out the window and respecting your players was never even part of the plan. I have been going down this whole rabbit hole for the last few weeks on this, and it goes incredibly deep, like multiple levels of fraud, embezzlement, and manipulation deep, allegedly. And I am not really an MMO person either. I did some Elder Scrolls Online a couple years back and a little RuneScape back in my church youth group era, but Ashes was supposedly the next big MMO. It was kickstarted back in 2017, raised 3.2 million, had nearly a decade of development, and the community was completely a ride or die for this. It hit Steam Early Access in December of 2025, so just a couple months ago, and 52 days later, the entire studio is gone. Now, from what I have learned in my research, on the surface, this normally wouldn't be anything too crazy. MMO Kickstarters are kind of cursed, actually, so many of them have had issues over the years, and it's pretty rough. But for Ashes of Creation, if you start digging deeper and pulling at some of the threads, the whole thing just unravels very quickly. Starting with the founder, Stephen Sheriff, who had zero game development experience before this. His background was multi-level marketing. MLM to MMO, yeah. So for years, he publicly claimed that he had personally invested millions of his own money because he believed in this project so much, which naturally inspired the community to open up their wallets too. But now an investor has come forward claiming Steven never put in a single dollar. The real money was roughly 140 million from outside investors, and there was supposed to be a board overseeing all of this, holding meetings, keeping everyone accountable, but apparently they never even held a single meeting, which makes complete sense once you learn that the board was essentially just Stephen, overseeing himself, reporting to himself, presumably giving himself glowing performance reviews and a very reasonable bonus. It is giving I am the Senate. It just completely...
It sounds like Bungie CEO. Which I think Sony finally fired. I hope.
baffles me. How was he getting away with this for so long? Was anyone seriously looking into it? Why was everybody just taking him at his word? We also know that players spent tens of millions on cosmetics for a world that wasn't even finished yet. And I don't want to pile on people who lost money here, but buying an outfit for a game that does not fully exist yet is a level of trust and optimism that I can only dream of having about anything in my own life. And when it all came crashing down last month, Steven decided to resign in protest. He blamed the board, which again is basically just him, for unethical decisions. And since the game technically launched for 52 whole days in early access, Kickstarter refunds are now kind of unclear, but I don't know how he's gonna get away with this. Because here's what 9 years got us. 3.2 million from Kickstarter backers, tens of millions spent by players on cosmetics, 140 million allegedly raised and unaccounted for, and 123 people who showed up every day and built this thing, losing their jobs in a single afternoon. And that doesn't even get into all of the asset moving Steven allegedly did at the end of last year, which really makes it seem like he was trying to cover every exit. It is pretty diabolical and almost impressive in a super gross way. It's clear that the real priority here was never the game. It was never the community that funded it. And everyone who gave money to this deserved so much better than a founder who was essentially running an MLM with a fantasy skin on top. So after all of that, Highguard pointing fingers at the 100,000 people who actually showed up, Overwatch's comeback nearly getting kneecapped before it could find its footing, Ashes being whatever Ashes was, we do keep coming back to one thing: accountability. Because look at what happens when you take it. Sean Murray could have posted a thread after the whole No Man's Sky debacle, blamed toxic gamers, and made it everyone else's problem. Instead, he just went quiet and started fixing it. And now we are at free updates for 10 years and the game is beloved. Pilatro, one guy in the Discord every single day taking notes because he said the players knew more about how to play the game properly than he did. 5 million copies sold. Satisfactory spent 5 years in early access listening. Their community manager said it best: sometimes it is good to just listen to what people are asking for and give them that. Eugenics made a cat game for a decade and sold 1 million copies in a week. And Knight's Path, the upcoming medieval game, is now at 300,000 wishlists. All of these examples have looked at their audience and said, we see you, we are making this for you. Here it is. None of these developers had the biggest budgets. None of them had the loudest marketing. As far as I know, they didn't have fancy consultants telling them what modern players want, and they've not been using their games as a funnel to smuggle in their own personal ideologies. They were just making something good for the group of people who would love it, and holding themselves accountable to make sure that is the case. So, like I have said to the industry so many times, we are tired of being blamed for your mistakes, but we are so ready to be back in your corner. We will support the games and devs who care about their work and care about their players. We will defend their games in comment sections like we are on their salary, but you do have to meet us halfway. Take the notes, hear the feedback, and when something does go wrong, just be honest about it. Because the truth is, some games can survive a bad launch, but none of them can survive making enemies of their own players. I started this video with a fairy tale, and it turns out that the studios that treat their players like the villain do not get a happy ending. But if they do treat us like the hero, they might just stand the test of time. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for being here. What studio do you wish would just take the notes? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.
Ozempic chic is crazy, by the way. that was the thing.
Yeah, but you know, Trump basically described it. You know,
that was the thing that I was just thinking about towards the last minute. I was just like, wow, someone really said Ozempic chic. I was like, huh. But I was thinking of Ozempic chic as in the Nintendo character. I was like, wait, chic from Nintendo on the Ozempic?
Oh my god. You're picturing Princess Zelda on Ozempic?
Yes. I was like, she's pretty thin already.
You are the problem, JJ.
I was just...
Nintendo's gonna watch your stream, and the next Princess Zelda is gonna be thicker than Ganon. It's gonna happen.
Crazy.
It's gonna happen.
I was just like, dang. I was like, she gotta be like half the size now. Sheesh. I was like, half the size that she already is. I was like, oh my golly gooba. crazy, right?
My word. Oh, my word.
Jeez, Jack. Hashtag Ozempic